Yesterday,
Yeah. Thanks for coming today. We wanted to come out and from the lifeguard service, we were very proud to announce our endorsement for Nathan Fletcher. And we wanted to say a few words about Nathan and his vision about clean water, his vision for safe beaches is very much in line with our vision and the vision we think citizens of San Diego. Lifeguards aren't only lifeguards, we live here. As you can see, we raise our families here. And clean water, safe beaches are super important to us, and we think it's important to all citizens of San Diego. As you know, San Diego tourism is one of our leading economic anchors for the region. Nathan Fletcher understands that. He understands that. He understands that the tourists expect to be safe and they expect to come to clean beaches. And that's why we're endorsing his plan. We believe that you have to be a beach user in order to really understand the beach area, in order to understand the small businesses, in order to understand the user groups, the kayak clubs, the dive clubs, the triathlon clubs, the town councils. We believe that Nathan, being a swimmer, a triathlete, a surfer, he's the one we see at the beaches. He's the one who's down here who fully understands the need for facilities, the need for training, the need for staffing. As a former Marine, we believe Nathan has seen tragedy. We believe that he knows that you can avoid tragedy. With millions of people visiting the beaches, tragedies happen, but you can reduce that. You can reduce it by adequate training, adequate staffing, adequate funding for the things that are important. Lifeguards have made a lot of changes in the last couple of years, and some of those changes are taking control of who we decide. We're not just supporting the status quo. We're supporting those that we think have the leadership, the vision to move on to the future. And that's why we're very proud to endorse Nathan Fletcher, and we'd like to introduce him.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. I appreciate the support of the San Diego Association of Lifeguards. I appreciate what you do for San Diego, what you mean for our community, what you mean for our environment, for our economic base, and for our families. Our beaches and oceans are one of our greatest resources, a true natural treasure, and we must do everything we can to keep them clean and safe. Today we are here with lifeguards, we are here with leaders from the environmental community to lay out a plan to ensure that San Diego beaches and water supply are the cleanest in California, and to ensure that our beaches remain the safest. In 2010, nearly 26 million people visited San Diego beaches. There is a tremendous economic benefit to our beaches. The lifeguards who are represented here today performed over 5,000 rescues without a single drowning. Ed, for you and your guards, you are doing amazing work in a difficult period with reduced resources, with reduced budgets. You're working longer and harder with less. And everyone who visits the beaches and everyone who lives in San Diego owes you and your guards a debt of gratitude, so thank you. As mayor, I've committed to work with all stakeholders, including the lifeguards, the environmental community, the visitors industry, leaders from the business community, and beachgoers to ensure we have a focus on clean water and safe beaches. As a parent, it's important to me, both from an environmental standpoint, to be a good steward of this amazing creation and treasure, to give my two young boys a cleaner, healthier ocean and environment than I found. As a parent, the safety of our children at the beaches is paramount. It's your #1 concern. And so bringing all of these groups together to implement this plan will be our biggest priority from an environmental standpoint as mayor. Today we're going to outline briefly our plan. Our goal is simple: to ensure San Diego beaches and oceans are the cleanest and safest in California. To accomplish this, today we're releasing an 11-point plan that walks through everything we will do to accomplish this. Begin, #1, we will reduce sewage discharges into the ocean. We'll work to reduce the city of San Diego's negative impact on our ocean by supporting indirect potable reuse, which will reduce the volume of sewage that's being discharged into our ocean. It will also allow us to put together a comprehensive long-term plan to get in full compliance with the Federal Clean Water Act. Second, we will work to turn sewage into fuel. Working with local innovative companies, we can develop technologies that will use algae to turn sewage into fuel. This will help reduce discharges while promoting economic growth and job creation. Third, we will eliminate sewage spills caused by neglect, poor planning, and deferred maintenance. We will ensure backup generators and power at pump stations, so power outages like the one that just happened this recent September never happen again. 4, we're going to get tough on environmental crime. We will focus more of the city's investigative resources on identifying those who knowingly or willfully violate our local environmental laws. For those who still choose to pollute, I will ask the City Council to adopt new enhanced penalties for violators. We will also make sure our lifeguards and law enforcement officers have the resources they need to implement and enforce environmental laws and protections. 5, we will honor our commitment to the San Diego River Park. As the city budget is balanced, we will restart the city's support of the San Diego River Park. The mission of the River Park is to preserve and interpret the natural and cultural resources of the river valley from the river's source, just north of Julian, to the Pacific Ocean and Del Mar. San Diego River Park's efforts to protect local water resources are a stellar example of regional cooperation towards better water quality in San Diego. As mayor, I will rejoin this collaborative effort. 6, we will advocate for federal and state funding for water testing. Regular testing at our lagoons, beaches, and bays is critical to measuring progress and alerting residents to pollution. While water quality testing falls within the purview of many governments and nonprofits, the city has an integral role to play in ensuring the accuracy, transparency, and accessibility of this data. We'll use the office of mayor as a powerful advocate for more federal and state funding for testing and monitoring of our water supply. 7, we'll launch our Green Streets Initiative. There are a few things that are more illogical in the world than the fact that when clean rain comes down, we pollute it, we dump it into the ocean, and then you can't go out and swim or surf or kayak. It doesn't make sense. Our Green Streets Initiative will focus on taking stormwater runoff that falls on the streets, parking areas, gravel lots, rooftops, sidewalks, and putting in place policies to ensure that there's a natural filtration to stop these pollutants from flowing into our water supplies, which close businesses, they harm or kill wildlife, and they affect our economic base by forcing beach closures. As mayor, we'll launch a Green Streets Initiative to help capture rain, allow it to soak into the soil, filtering it in, and at the same time, reducing the amount of stormwater that would otherwise make it into our storm drains. As mayor, we will implement this idea by innovative approaches such as stormwater tree trenches, pervious pavement, stormwater bump outs, stormwater planters, and other innovative ideas to ensure we're making a commitment to the health of our environment. Number 8, we're going to bring new ideas to the table. As mayor, it's important that you listen, and I've committed to establish a mayor's environmental advisory council comprised of members of the environmental community, along with leading academics, business, and civic leaders to help assist in the administration of the development and implementation of our environmental goals. 9, hold ourselves accountable. We recently had a State of the City speech. As mayor, each year we will publish an annual State of the Environment report and publicly present it in a form to hold ourselves accountable to all of the goals and programs we've outlined today. We will work with local stakeholders to create an environmental dashboard or scorecard that provides up-to-date information on the real-time state of our environment. The other half of our plan, in addition to clean water, is going to focus on safe beaches. Our city lifeguards are doing more with less each and every single year. Last year, in mid-budget adjustments, the city eliminated $973,000 from the lifeguards budget. According to the city's independent budget analyst, the biggest impact was on training. Lifeguards estimate they need at minimum an additional $540,000 to restore programs to the previous level. San Diego has a world-class lifeguard service. What they need now is a mayor committed to funding that service. As mayor, I will work with the lifeguards to find new and innovative ways to provide them the resources they need to get the job done. We should be proud of our San Diego lifeguards for going out on their own and finding innovative solutions. Last year, the city negotiated a 2-year agreement with Toyota for a fleet of 34 new vehicles for the city's lifeguards. The city estimates this agreement will save between $500,000 to $1 million.